What's up, everybody? Tuesday evening, actually, and heading in to get my back and bicep workout in for the day. So I slept in this morning, and I planned to. I was just worn out last night and decided I'd sleep in, get that extra hour and a half sleep in, and then get in here tonight and get this workout on. So it was worth it. Feel way more recovered today, well rested and ready to go. If I had come in and I'd just worn myself the rest of the way out, I'm afraid. So glad I made that decision. Still getting my workout in on this day. Was able to eat food today and get that in my system before I come work out. I usually work out fasted or with some quick carbs that I put in my system, but mostly fasted is how I work out. One of the things I'm going through right now is just making myself eat, and it's never been a problem before. But now that I'm deliberately trying to eat a lot of calories in a day, it's like I have to force myself to get that done, and that's become difficult for me. So just working through that process as I move forward, and just trying to force the food down, force the calories, the carbs, and the protein, and all those types of things as I get moving into the process. So, anybody has any ideas on how to increase appetite? You'd think with all the work and effort that I put in, as far as the workouts go and the intensity level and the various things, that I would just be starving. But since, let's say, Saturday of this week, my appetite has been very diminished. So I just have to force myself and sit down and, eat the chicken and the baked potato and all the things that I'm trying to eat to put on the mass that I'm reaching for. So, it's part of the process. So I have to have the calories in to support the growth and the development of muscle mass. So I'm just forcing myself, sitting down, eating the food, chewing it up, and going on. So that's one of the main issues I have right now, is just getting enough food in my system to maintain growth and development. So anyways, I'll keep working through it. Maybe I'll switch up some foods. I eat a lot of chicken and a lot of eggs. Maybe it's just tiredness of the same pattern, the same routine, and I need to switch that up. I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm going to work on that development just a little bit. So fix the head in here and hit the back muscles and the biceps. And then tomorrow is a leg and shoulder day. And then Thursday will be a day of rest. So I'll rest and recover. Was able to get the cardio in last night. We had company in town, but I went and got the cardio done. So I talked about earlier and over the weekend that it's one of the things I'm missing out on, is not just doing cardio, but the intensity of cardio and developing cardiovascular system more. It's even important in this time of bulking, just to keep the system, blood flow, the pump, up, so that I can come into the weight room and perform at the highest level. So, this week I'm making a point to make sure that I hit the cardio hard and get that part of the routine developed and keep moving forward. So that's enough of that. I'm going to get in here and get to work, and that way I can get home. Got a few things to do this evening to prepare for work tomorrow, and so got to get this workout done pretty quickly. So I'll be back at it here in just a minute. So got a little warm up for the back here, and one of the things you hear a lot of excuses, and I used to be an excuse maker, like I don't have the right equipment, I don't have enough time, I don't have the energy, whatever. I would make up excuses for not coming in and getting my workout in. So I've just decided not to do that. No more excuses. I don't know if you remember that old t-shirt company from 20 years ago. It's like no excuses was their theme, was their brand. And so I'm taking that from them. No excuses on getting the workout in and getting it done. On back day, I've got no lat pull down machine. I've got no from the pull machines or row machine opportunities. So I'm using these bands, which, excuse me, for me, at this point in the development of my back, this is adequate because my back is a very weak link on my body. I haven't, worked it in 20 years, and I probably didn't work it well when I was in the gym all the time. And so this is a good workout for my lats and my upper back, just doing this pull down. So, don't make excuses. If you don't have access to all the perfect equipment, the perfect gym setting, with all the pretty frou-frou lights and all that kind of thing, just start where you are. Find something, get a set of bands. You can get these on eBay or Amazon or whatever, like 20, 30 bucks. So hook them over something, and you got a setup going to where you can get started on the development of those muscle groups. So, I'm not making excuses. I'm going to make it happen. And this is how I'm going to work my lats tonight. Just get this going. And I would say, if you're a beginner, this is a perfect way to start, because this allows you to go through the range of motion. It puts stress not only going down but back up. Obviously a cable machine does that, but you can control that. It adds additional load as the band stretches more and you get to the bottom of the movement. But also, using these, I can really focus on squeezing my lats so that I know I'm working my back at the lats and also towards the middle of my back as I pull these down. So I'm going to add another couple of bands to it. So I'll just grab all of them. I'm going to do the same exercise and finish up a couple more sets of this. And it certainly helps you. I can't grab these bars right now and do a pull-up. So, working this way, slowly building and developing that strength will help me in the long run to my goal of doing 10 or 20 pull-ups on the wide grip here on the pull-up bar. I do have larger rubber bands that I put across this sometimes, and I do assisted pull-ups, which have seen some development, but I ran off and forgot those at the house tonight. So I'm just working the lats this way tonight and making it happen. So, just, I got to not make excuses. I could have sat at home tonight and called this a rest day. But it's a promise I've made to myself, and those are the most important promises to keep. Because if you start breaking promises to yourself, then you'll find ways to break promises to others, and that's when you have issues in life. And I'm speaking from experience, because I've made those mistakes before where I cut corners for myself, which then allowed me to allow myself to cut corners in other areas. And so it's tough to think about it. It's in the past, though. It's gone. So we move forward now, and I move forward in this different way. Keep promises to myself. Part of being disciplined. I heard a guy say today that discipline is the most important form of self-love, that you actually care for yourself enough to keep promises to yourself. If you can do that, then you can be useful to other people and keep promises to other people. So, didn't mean to get all philosophical on this, but weight training and bodybuilding and developing the human form is one important aspect. But I think more important is the development of the soul and the spirit and the inner person, to be able to work at a high level, function at a high level, And that starts with the fundamentals of discipline, honesty, trust, love. All those things play into this. And so it's not just that you're in the weight room shoving some weight around. It's that you promise yourself you'd be here on this day. I was supposed to be here this morning, missed it, but I'm not going to miss out on being here today to see growth and development. So I don't know, maybe that's encouraging to someone out there. And just start small, make the promise. I'm going to do it today, and go do it. Get a start. Do 10 reps and go home. It doesn't matter. You got it. You kept your promise to yourself, and then move on from there. So, that's where I'm at right now, and keeping those promises, maintaining the discipline, and then when I'm in here, being disciplined to do the full exercise at the highest intensity that I'm capable of, with the most weight at the highest rep range that I'm capable of. And I'm seeing things happen. And if you do that, you'll see things happen as well. So anyways, I digress. Back to work. I'm going to go get another band. I'll wind up with 3 of these on here, which is 6 before I complete this one. So I'm going to run through these, and then I'm going to do some dumbbell pulls laying on the bench, and I'll show you those here in a minute on the video, then wrap up with some biceps, and I'll be out of here, go home and get some dinner and get some homework done for school tomorrow, and be back in the gym tomorrow morning. It's legs and shoulders tomorrow. So I'll be back here in a minute with some dumbbell bent over rows is the technical name for them, I reckon. So I added 3 bands up to 6. Found out I could put a bar across there and do lat pull downs with a good grip. It was getting hard to hold on to that big bundle of rubber straps. So was able to do lat pull downs like that. Got an amazing pump in my back. So I'm happy with how that's going. Even as goofy as it is, doesn't matter to me. So I'm just making it happen, and squeeze those out at the bottom. Then slowly did kind of a negative on it as the band pulled me back up, and just fill that all through my lats here. The goal someday is to have a lat spread. Right now it's not a spread, it's just a lat bump, I guess. There's not much there, so working that through and adapting as I go. So I'm going to lay on the bench now and do some isolated pulls. Typically I put one leg up and do my dumbbell rows like this. I'm going to use the bench today, tweak my back on Saturday, my low back just a little bit. So when I was doing squats, when I went as heavy as I could, and so just want to use the bench here to support low back, kind of take the stress off everything, and it's just an isolated pull movement here with the dumbbell. So start out light till I get warm, and then see how it goes from there. Gonna lose the phone. It'll be there later. So. So feel that in the middle of my back on the squeeze at the top of the movement, but there's a lot of rear delts and triceps some, but biceps in that movement. It's okay. I'm going to finish like this for today. Not ideal. My rear delts do need development, so it's okay, but may limit the range of motion here to keep that squeeze in the back, because at the top of the motion I feel that squeeze there in the middle of my back near my shoulder blades, which is what I'm wanting to develop, that thickness in the back muscle, but not necessarily looking to make this a bicep work. So I know a biceps will be engaged in this pull type of movement. I just have to look at how to make this movement. Probably the incline has a lot to do with it, that it's hitting the rear delts and biceps more. But like I said, at the top on the squeeze, I'm going to use that and make this work for today until my low back gets loosened up. I've been stretching it and it feels a lot better, so maybe by next back day I can go back to some bent over rows, which I really like for as a power movement, as a strength movement, as a muscle building movement with a barbell. But for now I'm going to work like this. I don't want to tweak my back, because on Sunday I got out of bed, stood up, and that thing kind of twinged down my right side into my butt, and I was limping around for the day until I got it loosened up. So I don't want to go back to the tight low back until I get that thing squared away. Anyways, I'm gonna finish up a couple more sets here, focusing on the squeeze at the top of the movement, maybe not going all the way through the range of motion down so that I don't fully engage the bicep as I come up. I know it's engaged a little bit, and then try to isolate it from my rear delts to my back and just working through that. So I'll come back at you doing the biceps here in just a minute. Finish up a few more sets here on the dumbbell rows, laying on the incline bench. Just finished up back, got a good pump in those pulls, and then went ahead and hooked our bands up to a bar here and did some squeezing movement in the back, and really have a good back pump right now. So one of the better workouts I've had for my back in a long time. So feeling good about that. Gonna do some barbell curls here, as heavy as I can, rep that out, and then I'll go to my bench finisher where I just rep out with the 15s as long as I can, as many reps, and get that pump in the bicep. That's really working well for me. 3 to 4 sets to failure with 15 pounders. Seeing some good growth in the biceps. I need to switch that and start doing my triceps that way as well. All right, let's see if I can do this without rocking back and forth too much. I'm not afraid of the partials. Do it till failure, and if you have to do partials at the end, who cares? Still keeping that tension and stress on that muscle, making it happen. So punch that into this deal. About 43 minutes into the workout right now, so I'm gonna try to wrap up here in 15 minutes or so. Get home, get the work done I need to get done, and then get in bed at a decent hour and get some sleep tonight. failed at 7 reps there. Didn't think that would happen. Thought I could get to 10 at least again. So it's easy to get a pump in the biceps. So the bodybuilders, you know, high right there, getting that bicep pump walking out of here all swole. So I like that feeling. I'm gonna finish up another set here and I'll hop on the inclines. I'll do the incline with the dumbbell laying flat, curl those out, and I'll be done. So I'll be back with you here in a minute on those dumbbell curls. I'm not sure if it's the added rest or the input of calories throughout the day, but this is one of the better workouts and better pumps I've had in a while, especially back and then biceps with those those curl bars. What's that thing called? The wavy bar. There's a name for it, and I don't know why it's not coming to me, but with the curl bar, I was working at a heavier weight range and went 12, 7, 6 on 3 sets to failure. Now I'm going to finish up with this little 15-pound dumbbells that I just rep out until I can't rep anymore out. And a gym buddy, a guy that comes in here with me sometimes, told me about it. And then I saw a video of, I can't think of the guy's name, Swole though, you know, said he does 100 of them with the light, 15, 20 pounds, just reps it out as many as you can. And I've been doing that. Amazing pump, but I've also seen some pretty significant growth just over the 3 weeks that I've been doing it in my biceps. So I'm gonna keep doing it until, you know, get tired of it and then move on. One thing I have noticed with high rep ranges in the 80s and 100s, obviously that's a lot, and this elbow gets a little twinge, so just got to be careful on that. But I'm gonna get at it, see how many I can pump out tonight. Arms are pretty fatigued from those curls with the bar. Woo. Oh yeah. I've never done 30 before in one set, so that's good. One thing I was just thinking about, I just drank a glass of salt water before I came up here. I've been looking at that as a pre-workout, the sodium intake. Man, there's something to it because I'm feeling the pump today. I got the energy to push through, so I don't know. I've just been watching a lot of stuff on that about, of course, it's an electrolyte, what helps with hydration, but also how sodium, man, I don't know the science to it, so I don't want to try to explain it to you because I don't know it exactly, but just my quasi-experimental science seems like there's something to it as far as the pump and as far as the energy levels to be intense tonight. So I drink half the glass. I put my pre-workout in there, stirred it up. I think my pre-workout does have some, you know, high sodium, potassium in it. So all that seems to be coming into play. I'm gonna do that again in the morning for the leg workout. See if I can hit the legs hard with that intensity level that I have in this one. So anyways, I was just thinking about that while I was repping those out. Like, how come I can keep doing more? How come I have this energy to go farther than I have before? And maybe that's part of it, because I've been doing the 15s. Maybe it's just recovery of the biceps and strength in that's helped out as well. And then additional rest between yesterday morning's workout, not doing this morning, but tonight. So, that's 24 plus 12, 36 hours between workouts. So, probably that recovery does play into something as opposed to doing it 24 hours and 24 hours. So, a lot to think about in this training and bodybuilding ideas, and a lot to learn as you go. I talk about it a lot. It's self-experimentation. You experiment on yourself. We're not in here doing anything that's harmful. We're doing things that are helpful, but we have to find what's most helpful as we move forward. And so that's what I'm doing. And for you can find 1,000 workouts on the internet, 1,000 nutrition and diet plans, 1,000 ways to get better sleep, but you have to try and adjust to what works for you and what gives you the maximum growth, maximum advantage, I guess is a way to say it. How can you reach your goals? And by adjusting, and it's not going to look like anyone else's. It's going to be a little different, and that's what's so cool about it. Like you say, well, there's 10 million people or whatever, 10,000 people out there being influencers for fitness, telling you how to do it their way, but I'm going to be different and tell you that you have to do it your own way. You have to adjust it because it's going to look different. The times you work out, how you prepare yourself, the routines you go through. I mean, there are a lot of similarities across the board, of course, but overall, it's a very individual practice of being in the gym, eating, and all those things. So that's what's so cool about it. That's why I like it. It could be clumped in and say everybody in the nutrition world or fitness world or weight training world does this. No, everybody has their individual take on it, and their individual routines and their individual programs, I'll call it, that work best and most effectively. And you just have to dial that in, and you dial it in through practice and repetition and routine. And so you can't dial it in sitting at home planning it and thinking about it. Oh, this might work, but you never try it. So you got to get out here and go after it. So I'm gonna go through another set of these before I lose the full pump. A little too much rest there in between. Oh, that's it. Okay. Finished off with some partials there, which is fine. One thing I really like about this is that I can get a good stretch in the bicep at the lower end. I don't want to overdo it with this weight and hyperextend the elbow, but I'm able to keep tension on the bicep, which prevents hyperextension going too far back. Of course, my shoulders kind of spring that a little bit and keep me from doing that, but at this lower end I feel that stretch, and then trying to keep the elbows isolated and then just pull with the biceps. Tremendous pump in this movement. So almost in a way like a preacher curl. If you ever done a preacher curl machine or a preacher curl with the bar, just the isolation of that bicep muscle. So feeling that good here. So want to have those swole biceps where my shirt doesn't fit. I'm gonna finish up one more set, and then I'm gonna head to the truck and get to the house and get some things done that I need to get done tonight. So I'll finish this up, see you out in the truck in just a minute. All right, wrapped up the workout for the night, and good pump in the back. Just using the rubber bands tonight, and yeah, I can't say it enough. Start where you are, start with what you have, and then adapt from there. And good pump in the back. The rows on the incline didn't work the best. They weren't the most effective way to isolate the back. I did feel it in my middle back at the upper end of that movement, but just getting to that point, it was really a lot of bicep and arm workout. So you got to figure out something different for that. And I know on the pull movements, your arms are always going to be engaged. You're going to get some biceps. One of the things is using my straps, is tying those off that you can allow the weight to hang from your wrists more, which disengages your grip. And so that allows you to pull and isolate the weight in your back more. So got to start using my straps on those types of workouts. One of the things I'm going to go home and do is just do some research on the intake of sodium prior to a workout. I've just been watching a lot of stuff on that. And so I thought, man, I'll just drink a little salt water and see what happens. And I felt more intensity and a huge pump in the back and the biceps today with that sodium intake. So I'm going to do it again in the morning for the leg workout, but I'm also going to do some research on how that really is effective as a pre-workout. I've seen one guy talk about putting that and something else in a drink, and it helped him perform in his D1 athletic career or something. I don't know exactly what the video was. I'll try to find it and just kind of see what he's saying there. I just watched it briefly and thought, that's a cool idea, but I need to know just for my own sake kind of what the science is. And if I'm going to tell you about it, then I kind of want to know a little bit more of the background and why that is effective overall. So I know sodium, muscle cramps, various things like that, water retention, but I don't, like I said, I don't know the science. So I'm going to go home and do some research, but was able to really be intense on my workouts. And that's kind of one of the things I've been thinking about a lot, is just the intensity level that I go at. If I'm going to walk in those doors, I have to flip a switch and make it happen, right? Don't waste the time in there. Don't just go through the motion. Don't just, I did some curls, I did some bench press, but be effective and be intense. Work to failure. Now, in this case, failure is a good thing, right? Because that means you've fatigued the muscle, you've stressed the muscle to the point where it can no longer go forward. But what happens from there? It breaks down. And then in the recovery process and the eating process, it builds back stronger. So the next time, you're able to add 10 pounds, you're able to add 2 more reps to a set, various things like that. But it's also a mindset when you walk through the door that, man, I'm going to go in here, I'm going to do this to the best of my abilities, the best of my capabilities, using the best form possible, but I'm going to push myself as far as I can today and not think, next time or next time or next time, because next time is an ugly pattern to be in. And I've been in it all my life. So I'm telling you from experience, it's always, next time I'll get better. Tomorrow I'll do it harder. Tomorrow I'll do it longer. And, tomorrow never comes. I think Garth Brooks said that, right? Tomorrow never comes. So tomorrow for me never came for a long time until I came to the realization that nothing happens tomorrow. It all happens today. And just being effective and taking advantage of the time. When it starts at home tonight, prepping myself for tomorrow, I'm going to get up 4:30. I'm going to drink some water, drink a little coffee. I'm going to head out to the gym 4:45, 4:50. I'm going to get here. I'm going to go through the door. When I go through the door, the switch flips and I build that intensity in just with my workout and the desire to do well in the workout. So it makes me think of a story. I used to kind of run around with this guy who wanted to be a MMA fighter, and we'd ride to fights with him all over Arkansas, Texas, wherever we'd go to watch these fights with him. And he was the coolest dude in the car. We'd ride, we'd cut up, we have a good time. He's just the nicest guy ever. You get to the fight, and then he's getting prepped, he's getting warmed up. There was something in his eyes, you could see it switch over. And he went from this fun-loving guy to this most intense guy. Like, you look in his eyes and you feel like, this dude's going to catch me on fire if I stare at him too long, because his intensity level went up so high, and he had that ability to flip that switch. And so that's what we have to be able to do. Like, when we get to the gym, we have to be able to flip the switch over. Like, I'm not just here as a fun guy having a good time. I'm here to do some work. I'm here to be intense. I'm here to put in the maximum effort that I can in that moment, and just having the ability to do that and press forward. And in those moments where we're kind of, if you think of in a line, we're out here on the edge of where we've never been. It's like we're building new ground that we can go to that edge each time. We're pushing forward. Muscular strength, intensity, mindset, the mental strength to know that we're at the edge, but we're going to push a little farther so that next time the edge moves forward for us. And that pushing forward and flipping that switch on in our mind as we go into workouts, we go into our routines. And I guess that's one of the negative words we use is a routine, because routine just implies habit, which implies the same thing over and over again. So it's a routine, but we routinely push ourselves to the edge. Yeah, that's pretty good. Put that on a t-shirt. It's routine, but we routinely push ourselves to the edge. So you have to get in the routine, but you have to be able to flip that switch. It's in your mind. It showed in that fighter's eyes that I was hung out with, but it's in your mind. Like, I'm not just here. I'm here to make some gains. I'm here to make some growth. I'm here to outperform myself from yesterday, and having that ability to go to that intensity level. So anyways, that's kind of what I've been thinking through. Not wasting time, not wasting effort, not wasting energy, but pushing myself to the edge on the maximum level. I can't say that I've been doing that for the past week. I've been here, I've been pushing myself, but I don't know that I've switched over in my mind to be able to push to that next level. It's doing away with excuses, doing away with hardships, doing away with the worries of life, and just being in that moment. Like, I've got this weight on the bench press. I'm going to use it to my advantage, push myself the hardest that I can. So anyways, those are things I'm thinking through. I got to get home. I got some work to do tonight to prep for school tomorrow for some of the classes that I have, and I got to eat some food. One of the things, I'm way behind on my caloric intake now, so it's late in the evening. I don't want to load up on a huge amount of food because then I'll have trouble sleeping, but I still need to get some calories. So, it's part of the adaptation and the lesson and the learning of how to get it all in each day. So we'll go home, do that, upload this video. If you like it, hit the like button. If you know someone else that would like it, tell them about it, and ask them to follow on YouTube, and then keep up with this journey of this old man trying to add muscle through this bulking phase through the winter. So other than that, thanks for following along. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a good evening, and I'll see you in the morning, bright and early.